talk a little bit about our Unibräu Pro version 2, contrast it to the version 1, and explain to you why we're stuck on a system like this and why it's more efficient than a lot of other all-in-one brew systems that you're going to work with. So the version 1 had a grain basket that needed to be hoisted out of the fermenter, and it was a good design in the sense that it was all-in-one brew system, but it has its limitations. When you've got the mash tun inside the fermenter, you're actually displacing that volume. And so when you hoist it out, you're losing all that liquid, and you're only getting a fermenter that's around 2/3 full. So in our opinion, you're missing around 5 gallons in batch size with the same size fermenter. The other thing is you need a gantry or a hoist. It's hot, it's 170 degrees, it's dangerous, and it's really not ideal to have to mount a hoist to the ceiling, or maybe you need higher ceilings. Maybe your 7 or 8 foot ceiling isn't going to be high enough. So we wanted to come up with a better system to brew beer with. The mash tun in this system sits beside the fermenter. And when you're mashing, what happens is it's acting much like a kettle rims or kind of a Herms setup, in that you're heating your liquid here in your hot liquor tank at the moment, and this is your mash tun, and there's no heat inside the mash tun. What you're doing is you're pumping the liquid over top of the grain bed, you're letting it drain by gravity out of the grain bed back into the fermenter. Now, for this system, we only have one pump on this size, but in the larger setups and in our in other configurations, you can actually have 2 pumps, so you can drop the mash tun height if the mash tun height is too high for your working height. And with this type of a setup as well, you've got the jacket on the fermenter, and this jacket holds 5 gallons of liquid. So when you're doing a 5-gallon batch, you can go full volume, just like a brew in a bag. But you can also, if you're doubling that batch size, you can reserve the liquid. It'll heat up with you as you're mashing out. And so now you've got 170 degrees sparge liquid. You've got 5 gallons that you can actually sparge and gain efficiency with a setup like this. So that really begins to increase the efficiency of a system like this, and it starts to rival the efficiency of our Herms 3-vessel system, which we've been brewing a lot on, Ian and I, and we're getting over 80%. Now, we don't have a brew finished where we've run the sparge and measured it to compare it exactly to the Herms, but I'm willing to bet that we're going to be within a couple points of the Herms efficiency when we run a sparge step in a system like this. All the accessories that we sell on our website are available for this. You can add a sparge arm to it. You put the pump right on here and pump it over and sparge just like you do in a Herms setup. Now, the other thing about this that makes it so awesome is this. Now, when you're done mashing, you're going to let the liquid drain into this fermenter, and it becomes your boil kettle. You can see the steam coming up because we're boiling our pale ale right now. And this becomes your boil kettle and your fermenter. So you can whirlpool in it. You can throw as many hops as you want into it. It's completely fine. The liquid draws off the side of the port here, and we return here into this port, into our whirlpool, and because of the shape of the cone, it's just simply not going to get clogged. We put lots of hops in here, whirlpooling hops, tons of pellets, no problem. The other thing is you don't need a heat exchanger to chill it when you're done. So you want to now chill the wort and ferment in it. You don't need to sterilize it. This is self-sterilizing. We're going to put the lid on in the last couple minutes of boil. Everything is sterilized. Number 2, for chilling, all you have to do is just run either your glycol liquid through it, or if your water temperature is cool enough, you can just hook that up to the solenoid valve, and it's going to chill your wort all the way down to fermentation temperature. You pitch your yeast through the the large 4-inch port that we've got on top, no problem. So what we have here is 4 vessels compressed into 2, and I mean, essentially there's no downsides compared to any of our other, or a Herm system or any other high efficient brew setup. Finally, I'm going to just say one more thing. Just want to point over to that controller over there. That's our newest controller. Our controllers are UL listed, and we will be offering these brew systems in larger sizes. We're planning a 1.5 and a 3-barrel setup, and perhaps even some bigger models to come. So UL listed brewery, it's safe, it's designed well, and the footprint, I mean, look at how small this footprint is. You want to expand on a brewery like this, all you have to do is buy more fermenters. You have everything you need. Just buy more fermenters and you can keep brewing to your heart's content.